How to answer questions about leading without authority. Have you ever wondered how to effectively lead a team when you do not hold a formal position of authority? This skill is increasingly important in today's work environment. When preparing for behavioral interview questions on this topic, it is essential to showcase your ability to influence and collaborate without relying on a title. Let's break down how to craft your responses effectively. First, choose a relevant example from your experience. Think about a time when you successfully influenced a project or team decision without having direct control. This could be during a cross-departmental initiative, a volunteer project, or even a peer-led task force. Next, structure your answer using the STAR method. This stands for situation, task, action, and result. This approach helps you present your story clearly and concisely. Start with the situation. Briefly describe the context. For instance, you might say, during a product launch, I needed the engineering team to prioritize a specific feature despite their competing deadlines. Then move on to the task. Define what your responsibility was. You could say, my role was to ensure that this feature addressed customer pain points without delaying the overall timeline. Now explain the action you took. Focus on how you influenced others. Building trust is key. Share how you established credibility, perhaps through your expertise or previous collaborations. Communicate the value of your request by using data or customer feedback to illustrate why it mattered. Engage stakeholders in brainstorming sessions to create a sense of shared ownership over the project. Finally, discuss the result. Quantify the outcome to show the impact of your actions. For example, you might say, the feature launched on time, leading to a 15% increase in quarterly revenue. In addition to this structured approach, consider practical techniques. Align your goals with those of others. Research team priorities beforehand. If the engineering team values efficiency, frame your request around reducing technical debt. Use persuasive tools like case studies or user testimonials to make your case more tangible. Do not forget about informal networks. Identify influencers within teams who can advocate for your ideas. Be aware of common mistakes to avoid. Over-relying on authority can backfire. Avoid saying things like management wants this unless absolutely necessary. Also, do not neglect follow-up. Mention how you maintain momentum through regular check-ins or progress reports. Lastly, acknowledge any resistance you faced and explain how you addressed it, whether through compromise or additional support. For a sample answer, consider this. In a previous role, I led a cost-saving initiative that required buy-in from both procurement and logistics teams. I began by meeting individually with stakeholders to understand their challenges. Using their input, I created a proposal showing how standardized vendors could reduce their workload. I then facilitated a workshop to refine the plan collaboratively. The initiative saved $200,000 annually and improved interdepartmental workflows. When adapting your example, consider the context of the role you are applying for. For entry-level positions, focus on peer influence, such as during group projects. For leadership roles, discuss broader change management initiatives. Always tailor your example to reflected keywords from the job description, like cross-functional leadership or stakeholder alignment. As a final tip, practice articulating how your actions created measurable value. Interviewers want to see not just your ability to influence but also the impact of that influence on business goals.